Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week. It's been a dull week since the Old Firm game. Although there's been a lot of controversy in the newspapers that I don't think we'll get into. I think everybody's well voiced and has their opinions on all the headlines. So today we're going to be talking about the deadline day that happened last week. Only outgoings it was. Nobody came into the club. We'll talk about the St Johnstone game, which I'm excited to talk about. Get back to Rangers because this international break, as we always say, it's been tough. It's been tough. We're watching Scotland, and then for this episode, the main part of it is going to be our top transfers of the window. We're going to compile a team together. Give our thoughts, opinions on transfers across the world. Doesn't have to be on the Scottish Premier League or anything. Just across the globe, which we think's the best transfer. So stay tuned for that one as well. And if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, it'd be very much appreciated as always. And if you're listening anywhere else, share it around for us. That'd be much appreciated as well. So, how's the international break been treating you? I'm guessing much similar, just boring.
It's just boring, mate. And I watched the England game yesterday for my boy Banford to see if he would get a goal. And then Southgate subbed them off and they get a penalty. And then I was crying for it. So, boring, mate. Just wanting the Rangers back, eh?
Nah, that's what it's all about. But going into Rangers then, deadline day was that last Wednesday. We talked about it actually on the podcast the day before, Cedric Kenton possibly going out on loan. It did happen. I think maybe to a lot of people's surprise that he went out on loan. Maybe not to ourselves, as we said, but he's away to the Bundesliga. Gruther Firth. I don't even know how to say their name, but they're a bottom tier sort of Bundesliga side. For me personally, I would like to see Cedric Kenton go to a team where they're going to be winning the majority of their games and not being sort of relegation material. Because I don't know how he'll do over there, but obviously best wishes to Cedric over there. But big fans of the guy. Hopefully he can come back to Rangers next season and really make an impact. But do you think this is obviously a good loan deal for him to have?
Listen, I agree with what you're saying in terms of you would have liked him to go to a team where maybe they're going to win the majority of their games, but also I think it is a positive as well because if they're a relegation side, then it's going to be so crucial for him to get the goals and put the ball in the net. So who knows? I just wish the lad the best of luck and hopefully he can come back to Rangers and be successful.
Definitely, because he's been signed for a big fee at the time, 4 million odd. We signed him for last year. He struggled to really make an impact. I heard he's been in the press as well in Germany talking about his time at Rangers. He says he has nothing but love for the club and the manager and all the players, but he found it hard to break into the side with how much quality is in the forward areas, and obviously you can't blame him for that. Like, you've got Kemar Roofe, Wright, Kent, Morelos. There's lots of talent in there, but hopefully Itten goes away to the Bundesliga, test himself against obviously big opponents. Like you've got Erling Haaland, Lewandowski, he can model himself off in that league. Hopefully come back a better player for us, because you would like to see the money we've spent come to good use, or if it comes back and he's still not up to what Gerrard's looking for, we can recoup the money that we paid for him back. But all the best to Cedric Itten, and then Nico Katic as well. We Hajduk split back to Croatia, and one that's been sort of burning away in the background for a while in this transfer window. We all knew he was going to go out on loan. It was just a matter of when and who to. So Croatia, good move for him. Hajduk split at a top side in that league. So excited to get Katic more games, as we been saying.
I'm buzzing for him to finally go over, get some game time, because it'd have been really harsh for me just to give up on him and sell him. That would have been so harsh. So I'm happy he's going out there. He's going to get some game time, and same as Cedric, hopefully he can come back next season and be in the first team. I think Katic is more likely to be a part of the first team than Cedric for me personally, just with the quality he was as a centre half, as I say, and I wouldn't want to give up on him. So best of luck to the big man and all.
Nah, best of luck. Hopefully he gets a run of games, and I don't know if Hajduk Split are actually playing European football, but if they are, that'll be big for him as well in that competition. But I'm unsure on that. And I agree with you. I think he will come back to Rangers. Well, there is a clause he can come back in January if we need him. So there's always that. But I feel like he's still very much part of the plans at Rangers for that reason as well, that we can call him back in January if we need him. I think that shows how much he's rated by Rangers and Steven Gerrard. So all the best to Nico Katic over there as well. And then that rounds up our transfer window. How do you feel the business went? Well, only 3 or 4 incomings. Obviously, we had Offerbor, Simpson and Wright. They were all basically done deals last window. But Sakala, Bakuna, Lundstrom, all coming into the club. Are we happy with the business we've done?
In some parts, but I do feel like we should have spent. I do think we should have really went out there and spent and got a big money signing. Obviously, the first person coming to your head maybe is that Dutch lad, but who knows? I'm happy with the likes of Sakala coming in and obviously Scott Wright and Simpson when they came in. Lundstrom, obviously got a game time. You can't just judge him, I would say, fully over a couple of games he's had. I think he needs a full season and then you can be critical of him. But I do think, we need to spend, mate. I do feel like we need to spend and make a big marquee signing for me personally. But overall, I would say it's a decent windows for Rangers, to be honest.
I would say in terms of not letting any of big players go either, I think that's a big positive for us. And hopefully that means Goldson and Kamara will get on the new contracts, because if they sign new contracts, that's probably better than a marquee signing in this window, because they're 2 key players for us, of course. But not losing any players is great. And then you would have to maybe put into the argument that we would have to have sold players to bring in somebody money in that Champions League sort of money has really went and hurt us this season, because you never know what could have happened if we had that. So we'll see how the season develops, but I feel like the squad's in a good place.
No, I would agree with you, and I would say, like say Kamara signing a new extension for me is probably more important than splashing the cash. But in terms of, I don't want to hear people making excuses with the whole money. I think about the money that as fans constantly pour into the club, buying the kits, turning up to the games home and away, and then the money they get for Europe as well, just for playing a game and then getting the knockout stages as well like that. I don't want to hear anybody making excuses about, money, this and that. No, the money's there. The kids spend the money. But as you're saying, I would probably prefer it if Kamara does sign that deal. That, for me, going into this window, the most important thing for me was probably keeping him, to be honest with you. If somebody like Morelos had gone or things like that, you'd been devastated, but you could understand it. But a player like him and the quality is, just to lose him would have been even more heartbreaking, man.
It would have been detrimental due to the fact that, well, obviously, I don't know if there was any official bids for him, but I seen he came out in the Sky Sports interview today and said there was interest, but he wanted to commit to Rangers. And that word commit is big for me, because I feel like that means a contract announcements around the window, around the whatever. But I hope anyway. And after the Euros he had with Finland and that, he made himself known that he's a top midfielder, and he's just kept on doing it throughout this season as well. So getting him onto a new contract's big. Goldson as well. He's had a shaky start to the season, maybe due to that. But I think with the window now shut, the contract's going to be sat in front of him. Just be like, right, mate, do it. You no pressure anymore. And hopefully that one happens as well. And hopefully with Kamara anyway, it's got a big release clause, because you don't want a team to come in and snap him up on his release clause. So, overall, I think in terms of incomings, I would have liked more. But we kept a lot of what worked for us last season. I hope it works for us again. Added a few bits and pieces to that, which was good. Outgoings. Brandon Barker's still at the club. I don't know how. George Edmondson, Jones all went. A few duds for last year. Obviously, 2 loans and deadline day as well. So I think we done all right in the transfer window, but.
No, just when you said duds, mate, it just cracks me up, man.
Happy with the business we've done anyway, and hopefully that becomes even better business in the coming weeks. Moving on then to St Johnstone, back in action. McDermott Park lies ahead on Saturday. We get a big old firm win, obviously. Hopefully we can take that win, and it will be our catalyst now to go and perform, because this is a tough venue to go to. Even though they've lost Ali McCann now, they've lost Jason Kerr, so they've lost their 2 best players. I still think it'll be a really tough game. What's your thoughts going into this one?
What did that Kerr go to?
Kerr signed for Wigan on deadline day as well. And what I don't understand, and my question goes out to St Johnstone fans, is would you be accepting that sort of money? Like Jason Kerr went for 400 grand and Ali McCann went for about 1 million down to England, like for your two best players. I feel like that's shocking. Like, 'cause you look at Ali McCann, you'd be like, he could walk into any team in our league, Rangers and Celtic included, and he's away to Preston for £1 million. I don't know. Rangers were apparently being quoted a fee of 2 million for him, so it just shows you.
I'd be a bit disappointed with the club in terms of that. We're playing European football this summer, do you know what I mean? You would
No.
think their ambitions would maybe go up a notch. I mean, that's massive in terms of losses for that club. So, and there's just was that League One football or to play in Championship?
I don't. Wigan maybe in the Championship now. Preston in the Championship. I think it's Championship. The both of them are in.
I thought Wigan were League One, but
Wigan might be in League One. Honestly, not sure anymore. But the two of their best players going down there, high potential. The both of them. I just don't know. I feel that it's a missed opportunity for us anyway. And Ali McCann, I would have loved to have seen him in a Rangers shirt, but
plenty of time.
Exactly.
Still having the Rangers shirt.
It is what it is. They've lost their two best players, which going into this game is only better for us. Because they've not won a game all season. Believe it or not, after the season they had, you actually sort of predicted this in our predictions. You thought they were going to fall off, and they've had a big schedule with the European football. They've had a few decent results, right enough. Draws to Galatasaray and Lask, and then in their European adventures, but they've not won a game yet in the league. So this could be good for us. They're on poor form, but you know what it is like. They all want to turn up against Rangers. It's going to be a tough game, regardless. But I feel like, again, we are full squad, hopefully back after the situation we had over the past couple of weeks. It'll be good for us. And what do you think the team's going to look like going into this one? Because Patterson injured on international duty, I'm afraid to say, which is unfortunate. Every single time somebody seems to go away with Scotland, they come back injured after having a standout game as well, I might add. So what do you think the squad's going to look like? Hopefully everybody's fit and healthy.
Hopefully everyone's fit and healthy, as I said, after the Old game. I hope this is now we turn it on now and we keep going. In terms of the team, I definitely expect Tav Goldson will be there. Of course they will. Favourite boys, aren't they? So they'll definitely be starting. I'm hoping Hollander and my boy Calvin Bassey, I hope he's ready to come back and get into the team. I think some of the, your usual players will play probably, Devo, Kamara, Aribo. I know a lot of them are out on international duty as well with Nigeria. And
that's maybe a big thing, actually, because I was having a look. Obviously, Roof is away with Jamaica, and they play on Thursday. And obviously, he's in Jamaica, so I don't know if he's going to be back on time to even play this game. Obviously, you've got the thing with the ever-changing COVID situations. I don't know how he can come back into the squad straight away or not. But with him playing on Thursday, we're playing on Saturday morning. I don't know if he's going to be available.
It's to be honest with you, I couldn't really pick the team now, and it must be such a big week for Gerrard and that now, because they're all away. As I say, you've got some top quality players away and due to Nigeria and Jamaica, who by the way I will be back in Nigeria if they do get to the World Cup.
Well,
I've got to support my boy. Any of my boys that are in the World Cup, I'm supporting them. Finland kit, I'm buying it. Right? No, but it's got to be a headache in terms of losing players to the international duty. But I'm just hoping the ones that aren't away are training right and they're getting their heads down and really looking to kick on. For me personally, so I just want to kick on now. Let's see. It's a tough away game. I did say it, honestly. I felt St Johnstone and Livingston were going to have difficult seasons this season. Everyone was bigging them up and hyping them up, and fantastically well they were. You can't take it away from them, but I do feel like I just had a feeling. I thought, you know what, they're going to have European football to start with. It's going to be difficult, and then you think about the league games as well. So who knows? I just thought the two of them were going to fold away anyway. I do see Livy relegated, to be honest with you, and I think that Martindale will potentially lose his job, mate. Nah,
well, that's big statements, but it could be going that way because they've started poorly, the both of them. But I think that's, you can't really predict the team now due to everybody away in international, who's going to come back fit and available. Maybe the bigger question is, does Robbie McCrory keep his place in the goal? Does Leon Balogun keep his place in the squad? Obviously, he's away with Nigeria, but if he comes back and he's available, do you think the both of them stay in? Because we're maybe like, obviously Robbie McCrory, you didn't expect him to be playing an Old Firm game. Balogun at right back, you didn't expect it, but they both came in and played 10 out of 10 performances. Do you think Gerrard will look at that and keep them in?
I don't know with Balogun because it's the international.
Obviously, you have Tav back.
Tav's back, so I do expect Golden Goose Tav to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm only joking. McCrory, I do think you can't drop McCrory. As I say with my boy Calvin Bassey, you can't drop them. See if they're playing and they're performing, you can't drop them for me. So also with the COVID stuff as well, I just think I would play McCrory definitely, mate.
I think that's the big one going into the weekend, to see if he'll be involved. I would like to see him in there because he came up. It wasn't as if he was just playing in like a nothing game. He played in an Old Firm game and a European tie to get us into the Europa League, and he done really well. So I feel that that'll be looked at and that'll be took into these games going forward. Balogun, I feel I don't think if you've got your best right back, I don't think he'll come back into the squad there. But you never know with the defence situation. I heard Hollander had a knock as well with Sweden, so
that's what I'm saying. No, Balogun is one of those guys, as he said in the presser, I think after the game, that he's like the terms of the squad rotation, he doesn't mind it. He's willing to come in and do a job, and you need players like that are just willing to come in one game, do a job, and then understand when somebody like Tav and that comes back into full. But then maybe I'm being hypocritical with what I say. If they're playing well, they should be playing. They should be starting. So if Alander's picked up a knock, then probably him and Goldson in it and the back.
No, but we'll wait and see what happens. I think Gerrard's press conference will be on Friday. Friday morning, we'll be able to hear all the news on what's happening, what's going on, because there's not really heard much for the club since the Old Firm game. So hopefully Friday we'll be able to hear more about that. The only thing that has happened is the Europa League squads have been confirmed, and the myth, Ryan Jack has been included in that Europa League squad, as well as Juninho Bacuna. So could that be a return for Ryan Jack in the horizon? I hope so, because I don't think he'd be included for no reason.
See when he comes back, right? I honestly need whoever's in charge of the music at Ibrox to play Return of the Mac, but we all sing Return of the Jack. So I need that, man. I'm just honestly, what a massive miss he's been in terms of the player that will come in and do what he does, man. He's top quality. And as I said, I was scared for him because of the constant injuries that maybe would get lost in the shuffle and potentially could be one of them heading out the door. But you just, when he's fit and he's playing, man, he's one that has to be in the first starter for me as well, man.
He's one of them that you might forget that he's not available, but you've seen how vital he is to whatever Steven Gerrard wants to do. And if I remember rightly, that midfield that always played in the European games is Jack, Davis and Kamara. He always liked the three of them playing. And we played some of our best stuff with the three of them in the midfield. So I'm looking forward to Ryan Jack coming back. He's been a massive miss for that sort of bite, that sort of hard man in the midfield. He's been missed dearly, but hopefully we'll be able to see him in the coming weeks coming back to full fitness. But that's pretty much that's it for the Rangers news. We'll find out what happens on Friday and hopefully get a result Saturday morning against St Johnstone, and then it's off to Leon and the Thursday after that. But we'll talk about that next week. Now on to our transfers then. A 4-3-3 I've went with 11 the best transfers. I've got some honourable mentions that we'll go through at the end, but who wants to go first? You want to give me your goalkeeper?
I'm going to go first, and I thought Paris Saint-Germain signed on a free, the best young goalkeeper for so many years.
You can't look past it.
You can't look past this guy, man. The fact he's going to be on their bench, and
he's just won a Euros.
Exactly, he's just won a Euros, and wow. But no, I've went for that man and goal.
That's exactly what I've went with for the exact same reason. He's just won a Euros. He's still young. He's got 5 years of experience behind him already. Top keeper, and for the fact he's going to be sitting on the Paris Saint-Germain bench just shows how strong they are as a side. Because I've got Keylor Navas as well, two of the best keepers in the world. So definitely for him, I couldn't think of any other goalkeepers I would have put ahead of him. To be honest, he was easily the best bit of business.
There's one. The man that's here, Jack. It's the head and shoulders guy, that Joe Hart.
No, Joe. No way. Right back then, I found this quite a difficult position to look at in terms of obviously the big name signings that were made, but then looking at lesser signings, I couldn't really think of much else. The two I've went me tied is Hakimi and Emerson. You could choose them going to Barcelona or Spurs. But I feel Hakimi is, again, one of the most promising right-backs in the world. to get him after a year into Milan is big for PSG, and they've always really needed a right back, and I feel like they're sorted now with him in there. Emerson Royal, of course, we've not seen him play for Spurs yet, but for whatever you've seen from him, whether it was his 2 games he played with Barcelona or Real Betis, he's always seemed like a good right back as well. And again, only 22 years old. So I've went with the 2 of them, as I couldn't really think of anybody else to put in.
Well, Jack, I've sort of cheated here. I've got a right back, and then I've got a right back at left back. I do agree with the boy you've put in there that's went to Spurs. I do, honestly, I'm a career mode Donny, so I do know about that guy. But I went with a team as well. I just remember seeing him in the World Cup before he was at Dortmund, and I just thought, this guy's a player. And then obviously he went to Dortmund and he was fantastic for them. Then he's went to Inter, and now at Paris Saint-Germain. So I love saying that, by the way. No, I went for him, and I'm just going to go to my left back. This man had a sensational Euros there. Dutch boy, got himself a move to Inter.
Dumfries.
I went with, honestly, that guy is what a player. I went for him at left back, even though he's a right back. So I went for that boy.
That was similar for me. I was thinking about that, but I've actually got a left back. I'll go for my left back now. Then I've went with Firpo for Leeds. I feel like that's a massive signing for Leeds to make. Leeds have needed a left back, like, because you look at, obviously you're a Leeds fan, so you'll know, like, Alioski's been there, Stuart Dallas has been played there when needed. But I feel like they've got a proper left back now coming from Barcelona. He's highly rated. He was on loan last season, if I remember. Or it was the season before, I remember him being on loan. But he's still young, a good fee for him. Coming to the Premier League, I feel like he's only going to get better as well. And again, I've put that down to something Leeds definitely needed was a good left back. I think they've got it now.
Absolutely, we did need a good left back. I mean, the amount of times I had to watch Alioski play at left back, and I mean, you love the shithousery for the guy, but at the same time, man, come on, we're trying to play football here. Dallas, every time Dallas has went at the position, he's always put a shift in, and I don't think that, as I say, I could have probably put him in. I probably should have. I got him in my honourable mentions anyway, but no, it's massive for us in terms of getting a left back, and I'm really hoping this guy can kick on and be the main man, Jack, the main man that we need.
Well, I think you're onto one there. My 2 centre halves then. 2 Catalans, 2 Real Madrids. I've went with Ramos and Varane. It's weird to picture Real Madrid not with the 2 of them, but Varane to Man United, partnering Harry Maguire. They've always struggled, Man United, recently with the partner for Maguire, and they've went out and purchased possibly one of the best centre halves in the world for a really good fee as well. I think it was like 40 odd million. So Varane for me is a top sign. I feel like that's going to be one we're going to talk about, like, at the end of the season, being one of the best of the summer, because he's get the pedigree to show for it, and he's still only like 27. So he's won like World Cups, Champions Leagues, La Ligas, Copa del Rey. He won everything, and he's coming to Man United into the Premier League. I think that's a massive sign. That could probably be one of the best on the list for me. And Ramos, of course, free transfer to PSG. PSG are just a joke, so he has to be in there. One of the best centre backs ever, probably.
No, I'm the same, mate. I've not tried to be a hipster or anything like that. I've just went with the same as you. I think PSG have had the best transfer window probably in the history of football, let's be honest. And Varane, as I saying, we'll touch on the man, obviously, when we get to our forwards, but I know everyone will be saying about Cristiano being the man potentially, but I think that is a sign that can win Manchester United the league, definitely. He's just a solid centre half and sort of in and out of the Real Madrid team, but one of them, I think he'll put a shift in, but with France he's been solid. So as I saying, it's a massive signing and a solid fee for him, and he went straight into my fantasy team when I could do it. So let's have the performances this season, Varane, please.
Aye, definitely. A lot of agreements here in the defence bar. What was that, 1? So we'll move on to the midfield then. 3 midfielders. If you want to start us off with your first one.
My first one is it's hard for me to say this, mate. Is a man that's left and he's went to Chelsea, and that's Sal. I've went for him in there, mate. He's a workhorse. He'll play for that badge. Trust me. Any position you want to talk about, a guy that'll play left back, he'll play out on the wing. He'll do anything to play. If you asked him, "You're going goal," he'll do it. He'll do it. He's a workhorse. He's a player. I know he's had not the best couple of seasons. I don't think he's struggling mentally. I remember him talking about how mentally, like, he was struggling. As I say, you got to always remember with footballers that they're they're people at the end of the day, and they do have lives and all. So, but he has struggled. And I think I know he'll be a life for him at Chelsea, and I do think he'll rock up and he'll. I honestly think Chelsea are winning the league, and this guy's going to help them win it. For me personally, just
Aye.
a sensational footballer. Many times people will highlight the goal in the Champions League against Bayer Leverkusen, or was it Bayern Munich, where he just darted around them all and popped it in. Quality footballer.
Aye, and I agree with you. I've got him in there as well. I feel like, considering the window Chelsea have had and the team they've built over the past couple of years, with Lampard obviously starting off, Thomas Tuchel taking over, like, it's a jokey a team, and adding Sal to that, like, do they even need Sal? That's the thing. Like, I think their team is good enough without him, but adding him is going to make them so much more better. And for the fee, they got him on a loan, 5 million loan, and they can buy him for 35 at the end of it. I think that's a great deal for all parties involved. So, aye, Sal, looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League. You watch him more often than me, but I've always been impressed. And as a guy, I would love to have seen at Liverpool if he was available for that price. But we didn't obviously take that option. The man who we should have replaced is Wijnaldum, who I've also got in there at my next centre mid position on a free. I've watched that guy for 5-6 years at Liverpool. One of the most underrated midfielders of that era of the Premier League for me. Unbelievable player. Again, showed it at the Euros. When he can go further forward, he can do that as well. And I just feel like he's one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the world now, even at 30 years old. I think he's fantastic, and one Liverpool are going to miss this year, definitely. So, Sal, Wijnaldum for me so far.
The next one I've got in is a Euros winner. It's Italia. I've got Locatelli with Juventus. Crazy deal. Seems like a shady deal, but just, I mean, what a player he was, for watching him full on for the first time really in the Euros. And one of them that will probably be in the Juventus team for at least a 10-year period, definitely. So I've put that man in there.
That's a good one. That was on my mind as well, because he had an outstanding Euros. That game was, I can't remember who it was against. He scored the 2 goals. 2 fantastic goals, might add, as well. And I think that, Turkey, was it? Turkey?
No, wasn't it?
Was it Switzerland? Was it Switzerland?
It might have been Switzerland.
It was one of the two of them.
One of the two.
But he scored 2 fantastic goals. He was in and around the Italian squad when they won it. And I think that's going to only be a good addition to Juventus. So that's a good deal for them to get. But my last centre mid, one you might enjoy, I've got Rodrigo de Paul going to Atletico Madrid. This is a guy he's sensational. How is he never been snapped up before? Might add, like, how has it took this long for him to move on for Udinese? Like, madness. And for the deal Atletico got for him as well, replacing Sal with him is just as good in my opinion. So he's in there for me again. Copa America winner, and he's going to be a top player.
Well, Jack, funnily enough, great minds think alike, and you and me are thinking alike here, because this man is the Tom Brady of football. The sensational passes he saved for the Copa America was it Di Maria to win it? Ridiculous. The game there against Villarreal, where he just played a sensational ball and the defender couldn't handle it and the keeper couldn't save it and it went in the net. And as I say, the business that was done for him. I mean, Leeds were in for him. Leeds were linked with him. Ken Hurtsey didn't come to Leeds, but I mean, he's going to be a top player, especially in a team for Simeone, where it's all about fighting for the jersey. And it's, he's a top player. And I definitely think Simeone will get the best out of him. I mean, did he not play with Swansea? I'm pretty sure he played with Swansea. I can't
remember rightly. No, I don't think. All I remember him being is at Udinese. If he was at Swansea, it must have been years ago.
Google that. I'm telling you right now, my brain's so good. I'm telling you, he was at Swansea.
Currently doing that now.
Just
he started off at Racing Club Valencia in Udinese. He's never actually been at Swansea. You think he's somebody else?
I'm thinking somebody else, Jack. I'm wrong. I'll take that one. But no, he is just a sensational footballer. As I say, the way he passes the ball, man.
It's going to be a good addition.
He's just going to be definitely a massive addition. If we're going on to the forwards, Jack, I think the two of them are definitely there, surely. First one,
I might surprise you with that, because
don't try and be a hipster.
I'm not trying to be. My argument is, like, this is top transfers of the window, right? Look at the amount of money that's been spent on these players. Do you believe that there still are top transfers? Because I was looking at other players to add into this, and I was only going to include one. So we'll talk about it. but I just feel, I don't know. On you go. Give me, who have you got?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but the greatest footballer of all time, Lionel Messi, going to Paris Saint-Germain, has to be there. I mean, you can't even find the words to describe Messi and what he's been in. I mean, I can only compare it must be like watching Michael Jordan playing basketball, but we were lucky enough to see him play Man City. When it was the special front three. I know you loved that front three. But for me, it was Messi. I've got Messi and I've got Cristiano Ronaldo, game changer. You want to talk about someone that's really has a game changer body, a 25-year-old. It looks like he's not going to be slowing down anytime soon. And definitely him and Varane are going to add titles to Manchester United, but will it be with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I just don't see that guy winning anything with him. I think these two players alone probably could drag them. You never know. He's got Ronaldo now. He'll probably go in and win Everton, but I just think, I know people are trying to say, oh, he's Ronaldo and he's older now, he's not going to be the same player, but his intelligence of reading the game is...
I genuinely think, right, you know I'm a massive Messi fan. I think Messi's the best football player ever, but I think Ronaldo's a better signing for Man United than Messi is for PSG, because think about Ronaldo's going to add to Man United. Like, he's going to be that focal point up front. Like, he's got Cavani and Rashford as well. As their strikers, but he's going to be the focal point. You look at the service he's going to get for Bruno, for Greenwood, for Sancho, Martial if he plays out in the wing. Like, he's getting a lot of service. For, again, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, all these players, and all he needs to do is stand there and put it in. Like, Ronaldo's at the age where he's maybe not as fast as he was, but he's got the football brain that nobody else could think of, as you said. Like, this guy's going to score 20 plus in the Premier League, I feel, this year, even at 36, because he's still unbelievable. And has he ever not scored over 20 goals in a season since he's been playing? I don't know, because he just always seems to pop up with the goals. But Ronaldo, of course, has to be there. Messi, as you're saying, has to be there. But I was thinking a couple other ones that I was having in there as well that I feel have to be mentioned. My other striker is Lukaku to Chelsea. And the other one I was thinking was Buendia to Aston Villa, because I feel similar to like Rodrigo de Paul, obviously they're both Argentinian. Buendia showed up last season for Norwich, got a lot of teams interested in him. He rejected Arsenal, goes to Aston Villa. And I feel like we're going to see a sort of Jack Grealish type of development in this guy, where I think he's going to be under the radar. People are going to notice him. He's going to get a big move again eventually. So Buendia, I think, has to be mentioned.
So did you put Buendia in there over Messi?
No, I have Messi, Ronaldo and Lukaku, but another one I wanted to mention was Buendia. Because again, as I said, I feel like he's going to be a talent. He's going to get a big move again. I think he's going to have a good season.
No, definitely. I've put him in there for my ones to mention. Definitely, I feel like he's a fantastic player. I think he scored a sensational goal there. I can't remember against who. Was it Brentford? I'm not too sure off the top of my head. But going back to Cristiano, also the mentality, the levels are going to change now with Manchester United. You've got to win Everton. And with that, definitely with that guy there, it's going to be, I'm here to win trophies and add to my legacy, so you all better step up. But Messi's one as well, I know some people are saying he doesn't need to play every game. See if PSG don't win every single game of football this season, at least 5-0, they've failed for me. You've got to win every game 5-0 now. What are you? You can't make no excuses. Pochettino is got a gem of a squad where he has to win Everton for me. Every game,
Pochettino literally has all the Infinity Stones now.
Literally. But it's the same with Lukaku. I've put Lukaku in there as my main man. I just think this guy is, for me, probably one of the top 3 best strikers in the world, man. I remember him doing that interview with Jamie Carragher, and he was on about his movement and things like that. And you see it. You can see it constantly through every game, man. And when he turns a defender and he goes for it, he's a real special strike. I don't think he's a key for Chelsea win the league for me personally. I just don't see him. I think Chelsea will win it, but it's now so open with the league now, with the signings of Ronaldo, Varane, Sal, you think about Grealish as well, players that have all made big moves. I'll tell you somebody who ain't winning it, and that's Arsenal. I'm only joking. I'm all making those kind of... but no, I've went with Lukaku. Honourable mentions as well. I thought I'd put my boy Danny Ings in there. I think Danny Ings is just... that goal he scored there in the first opening week was just sensational. And another one who was sort of played with injuries, but he's made it way through that, and he's a top Premier League striker. So I've put him in there, and then of course, Jack, I couldn't not put my boy Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison had to be in there. Jack Harrison is a quality footballer. I'm telling you right now, Man City, letting him go, letting him come to Leeds. He's been on loan for what 3 seasons now, so it just made the right sense for him to sign permanently. And what he adds to the team, man, is so vital. He's one of those players yet again that when he first came in, he was at Middlesbrough, and then he came to Leeds, and you're like, Jack Harrison. See what you see that performing this Bielsa team, man. Like the cup game there, he ripped it up, man. He was sensational. So I've put him in there, and then I've put a City OG, who I feel deserves an honourable mention, getting his move to Inter as well. Dzeko seems like he's been a solid signing for Roma when he's been in the Italian league. So I've put my boy in there, and then another one for the Italian league. Sorry to go on, Jack. Gonzalez, Argentinian. He played at Stuttgart. Was it Stuttgart or something like that? He played for them. He was another player linked with Leeds. I did check him out, of course, because of that. And then another one, Finter, as well. They seem to have a very good sort of signing transfer window this season for me personally. But it's like Korea. No only way that he would. Where was he? He was at Lazio. That boy there, he's another quality player. And then obviously I've went for Liverpool's new centre half as well. I feel like he's a top centre half for you. What to have? And then Sancho as well. You can't mention Sancho. I just think
it just shows you how much good signings there's been in this window that you can't.
I've got to mention Jack. Come on,
I know you need to mention them.
With Dave, therefore his boys with Joe Rebo, therefore his boys with us. So I've got to put them in.
Of course. But as I said, I had Lukaku as well in my first 11. I think he's going to be key if Chelsea are going to succeed this season. They needed a goal scorer. That guy's been written up for seasons on seasons now after he left Man United. So getting him in was big. But he never done anything against Liverpool because Joe Matip and Van Dijk were in the defence. So we'll see how he copes against that uphill defence, let's say. But he's going to be big for them anyway. I think if they win the league, it's going to be up to him to put obviously the goals in the back of the net. The honourable mentions I've got here are Camavinga to Real Madrid, highly rated centre midfielder for Stade Rennais. He finally gets his move. Still 18 years old, 35 million or something. He's going to double, triple, whatever your money on that guy, I feel. So that's a smart bit of business for Real Madrid. Again, maybe good business they're making is bringing in young players that can take over for the likes of Modric, Kroos and stuff like that. So him coming in is a good signing. I've got Sergio Aguero to Barcelona, although it's a messy club. You can't ever play down what Aguero will do to your team. So
doesn't even want to be there.
He doesn't want to be there, but Aguero's a good signing for anybody, so I've put him in there, especially on a free. I've got Daniel Malen going for PSV to Borussia Dortmund as well, Dutch striker. I feel like that's another good sign. I felt it was going to be a Haaland replacement, but Haaland's still there. So the two of them linking up front, that'll be good to see. And then the last one I have here is Antoine Griezmann going back to Atletico Madrid. I feel like that one goes down to just good business. Like selling the guy to Barcelona, getting back and loan, just everything that's come for it just shows how Barcelona have been ran. It's an absolute mess. It's good business for Atletico to get a player of that quality back in and around the squad. And Griezmann, Suarez, what else could you want? Obviously, Mateus Cunha's joined as well. So I think Atletico Madrid are looking like the strongest team in the league now, and that's mad because it's Barcelona and Real Madrid are usually the two.
Always been the strongest team. No, I've also got 3 more players here I want to mention. Jack, I feel deserve a wee shout out. Boy Leicester signed Summer, is it?
Soumare for Lille.
I've want to mention that guy. I just think he's another one to watch out for. And then I've also, surprisingly that none of us have put Jack Grealish in there because let's be honest, he's not worth that money. It's only because he's a quality footballer, but probably 40 million player in it. But anyway, good bit of business for both on the end of that. But you've talked about Antoine. I've got to talk about Antoine. As you say, Jack, you know more than anyone really. This guy for me was one of those special footballers. I did adore him. I did end up dyeing the hair and coming out with the hairbands and doing the silly dances when I was at school, but that all stopped. No, he's a quality player and it is a good addition to the team, but you've still got the likes of Felix. Let's not sleep on my boy João Felix. I think he's Probably still there, but no, it's going to be interesting to see will the fans take back to him. I know there's a lot of rant chats. I remember going through the announcement here, and it was just like rat, rat, rat. We'll never forget when the children in the streets were crying with their tops, and you went to Barca. I think you were going to win all the trophies, but then Suarez came and did the business and got the main trophy back to Madrid. So it'll be interesting to see how things go this season. I just think a lot of clubs have done good business as well, and also the boy that we know very well for playing Rangers last season went to Brighton, and now he's been loaned out on Stoke. I forgot his name off the top of my head. You know all about him. What's his name?
What's his name again?
Played for Prague, but no, Slavia. Aye, and he signed for Brighton. I forgot his name off the top of my head. He's way on loan at Stoke.
It's genuinely skipped my mind who that is.
He's got a phone there, so if you could Google that, Jack, that'd be nice.
Right, he's away to Stoke now.
He's on loan at Stoke for Brighton.
Stoke City transfers. Oh, Abdelassima. I didn't actually know he went to Stoke. I knew he went to Brighton. I never knew he went to Stoke though.
Went on loan at Stoke.
Aye, that's interesting because he's a top player. I thought he was actually going to Brighton to play for Brighton, but anyways, he's there. Aye, that's going to be a good sign. I always thought he was a good player when we played against him, and that he's tore it up as well in the earlier stage of the tournament, scored against Leicester. So that one's probably a good sign as well.
And then the last 2 years, Jack, I'm sorry, just to rubble on here, but I've got Fashion Sakala's pal. I can't even remember where he's signed. I've put that boy in there. He seems like another one. It's a top player. I do feel he should do well. And then I've got a surprising one for the Belgian league, all the way to Wolfsburg, or how you say him. Belgian midfielder. I can't say his name off the top of my head, Jack. You've got a phone there, son. If you wouldn't mind using that. So we can tell the audience what his name is.
So he's a
Belgian midfielder. Aye, he's 19. Got it? Got it?
Is it Aster Vranks?
Aye, that's his name.
Never actually heard of him before.
Well, you're going to hear him. He's going to end up at Dortmund or Bayern or something. Top player.
Well, interesting signings. A lot for I didn't know about. I didn't know Sima went to Stoke. Didn't know about that guy. But looking forward to seeing how all these players do, and we'll reflect on it obviously at the end of the season. But I feel that we've done a lot better than we did last year with this video. So we'll see at the end of the season. But that's the podcast for this week. We've done covered everything about Rangers, about the window. Luce has always got something to say at the end of it. So on you go.
I've got something to say. I don't mean to keep going on, but I'm just going to say it. Preview for the next one when we do this, when the transfer window's done. Top signing Mbappe to Real Madrid. Just saying it. Right,
fair enough. So obviously it's going to happen. That's going to be a top signing when it does happen. But we need to wait and see. All these signings made in this window that we've mentioned, good ones. Obviously, we couldn't narrow them down into an 11. Obviously, there was a lot of mentions in there. But again, if you did enjoy it, if you could like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share about it if you're listening anywhere else. And we'll be back on next week now to do next week's podcast, preview the Lyon game, talk about the St Johnstone game and that. So we'll see you then. Cheers.